Hi guys, welcome. Hi guys. Hi everybody, welcome to Bajerski. Do you know sometimes when you speak you wonder why you say these words? It's such a program, eh? Welcome everybody to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a most amazing day to talk about balance. One subject that I feel most people don't really touch upon too much. Snippets are normally given by those who are in certain fields of work, which is fine, but balance itself can be something that goes so deep that most people don't really know where to start and actually where it ends. For me, the purpose of life is living it, so the journey is everything. And it's taken me up till 55 years old to figure that out. So along that journey, we eat, we drink, and we sleep. And each footstep that we take is an experience. We've been told as children that there is such thing as right and wrong. And to a degree, that's kind of a very dark program, because it means that you can't step into the challenge, only walk the path of true light, so to speak. So good, bad, don't go there. And yet at times when we go to those darker places, we are challenged, of course we are, and we go through the most pain. But isn't that the whole point? If I brought a child up in this world and muddy cuddled them and only gave them everything that meant that they were protected through the whole of their life, ask yourself this question: do you think they would have experienced anything? You might say, yeah, they experienced love, happiness, joy, protection. You could say, well, they end up being spoiled and soft and so on, but did they really experience anything? So the question is it part of the journey that we experience that's not good? Don't go there. And it's like, well, actually, I went there a lot of times, and it made me who I am. It made me stronger, more wiser. And I think the experience of going down those darker paths, those shadows, those places where, in truth, most people are so frightened of going, that I can look at that now and it's no longer bad, nor good. It's no longer a challenge. It's something that doesn't bring any fear in my life. And I think when you mollycoddle a child and say, oh, don't do that, don't go there, don't do that, I think they end up very challenged in life. And there is a tendency to become very paranoid and to want to cancel everything and cancel everybody who may cause them any pain or suffering. Anything they don't like to see or hear, don't show me. And then you realize that you haven't really brought them into the real world of experience. You've just almost isolated them. So looking at your life and my life, and as we're walking from it day to day, I challenge myself often by saying things that may not be correct, political correct, or, I talk about gender, I talk about labeling, I talk about wars, I talk about vaccines, I talk about what you should and shouldn't say. And why do I do that? Why do I purposely smash myself over the head with 1,000 hammers that come at me? Why do I purposely become an emotional punch bag for those who don't want me to say anything, who try to silence me? Why do I do that? Why don't I just keep quiet? I kind of think I'm like that opposite person than one I've just spoke of, though, that person that, just don't rock any boats, just keep going, don't say anything, don't look at that side, don't look at the war, don't look at that bad person, don't look at what they're doing, just stay on this lovely pink fluffy cloud. That's not me. That's not what life is. I couldn't think of anything more boring, and the word safe to me is so boring, it's unreal. So I've always pushed myself, and I'm sure you have, to points where we go, oh, shit, why did I say that? Or why did I do that? And that's a reaction of the brain saying that. But the consciousness is smiling, saying, well, this is the experience of life. You know, you can sit in a forest on your own the whole of your life and experience Mother Earth. You can experience yourself and lots of wonderful things. But did you ever challenge yourself in the fact that you came into this planet with thousands of other consciousness, and to mix and to it's not just about experience, but it's very much like playing a game and seeing where you are in that team. Where are you? Are you huddling up with all of them, or are you at the back waiting to defend, or are you at the front waiting to score the goal? It's like, where are you in this team? And for me, it's always been like that. It's always been like a team or a game of chess. And it's like, I want to experience all parts of that team. I want to be the goalkeeper. I want to be the striker, the midfield. I want to be in a bunch of you know, playing rugby and, you know, getting in there and feeling the pain and struggling. And I want to be the guy that kicks the ball in rugby, which I used to be. And I want to be on a team in baseball, and I want to throw the ball, which I was a pitcher for a long number of years. But I still want to hit the ball. I want to hold that bat, and I also want to be right at the back of the field. And I kind of look at life like, you know, that pitch. You know, that's our journey. That's the game that we play, and we should try everything. We should push ourselves to the limits, no matter what. And I often talk about balance with people who come here. And just a few days ago, I had two groups of beautiful girls who came here from my daughter's retreat, and I just had a talk, and we talked about many things. But one of the things we talked about is that, you know, I often use the metaphor as a single rose. That single rose in the room with 5 people around it, each person can see that rose in such a different energy, right? And I always use that because it's so important to understand that you are the rose, and all the people around you, some are going to smell that rose and think about beautiful things of relationships, and some are going to see that rose as a reminder of how they were hurt in a relationship, or that somebody died that they love and it brings tears back. But it's still a rose. It's just a rose. And you are just the person that you are. And the reason why people react in the way they do is because of their own path, journey, memories, thoughts, feelings, traumas, abuse. So just remember that you're a beautiful rose, and it's not you. And it's never you. And I think the balance of life is that we shouldn't focus on other people's weaknesses and knee-jerk reactions, because when we do, it's just like watching a kettle boil, and it takes forever, and you never really see anything else apart from the kettle. And if we're focused on other people of why they react to you every day, then you're wasting your life, because you're not here to fix other people. You're not here to fix them. I'm a healer. I'm not here to fix them. So this balance, this amazing subject on balance, when you're walking a tightrope, it's hard enough walking that tightrope. But then when you've got people reacting to you, when you've got things coming at you from all angles, from every shape and forms coming at you, wrong foods, poisons in foods, poisons in the water, poisons in the sky, you know, this cult, this brand, that, well, we could go down the path of religion, this religion, that religion, everything thrown at you. And it's like, how do I balance? How do I navigate? How do I keep going with all of these things happening? And it is a tightrope. There's no doubt about it. But I often think to myself, well, there's a reason why we came here. Did we come here because we couldn't walk the tightrope? that we couldn't walk the footsteps of what we're meant to. That doesn't make any sense. You don't come here to fail. You come here to see if you can walk that path and you can feel it, the journey. And I think ultimately when we're walking that path, our reactions determine whether the path that we walk is more challenging or less challenging. So he said, she said, I don't care. Guess what he did, she did, don't care. Oh, why don't you care? Because I'm way past that. And let them get on with whatever he, she did, they, whatever they want to call themselves. Let them get on with it. But when you're walking that tightrope, hey, guess what? Yeah, tell me. And you jump off the tightrope, you're already off your path. But you might say, well, that's part of the journey to experience that. True. But when you're pulled into places where you look back and say, well, what did that serve me? Didn't really serve me much, did it? Where did I get from that conversation of bitching and being nasty and joining in with that? Where did it get me? Nowhere really. Okay, so why do I keep doing it? Because you probably don't see it. You only master your path when you see what you need to master. So most people eat, drink, sleep and work, and then they move into the spirit world and go, oh gosh, I never saw any of it. Some people eat, drink, sleep and work and switch on to one thing and then move to the spirit world and go, oh, I did see that, but I missed so much more. And I think the journey is about awakening ourselves in the sense of what you see, what you experience. You stop and meditate on it. You think about it. Did that serve me? What did I get from it? Have I grown from it? Meaning, will I have to go back to experience that again? You see, there's something in this repeat energy of this world that I found fascinating. Why is it that so many thousands of clients came to me, men and women, and gay, bisexual, came to me and I've met this person and they've done this to me again. Why do I always meet the wrong person? Right? That's a very common thing. And I soon realized that it's because we don't believe in ourselves enough to deserve what we want in our path. But there's an underlying current of energy which is far deeper and greater, and that is we come to experience that. And through the experience, if we grasp that experience and, hey presto, I recognized that experience, I recognize that person, I recognize myself in that person because of how I behave and how that person is, and I'm not judging them or myself, but I see why this is happening now, and maybe I've experienced that, I recognize it, and I make the decision to say, okay, I've done that now. I've experienced that and I know why. So you come to the conclusion after feeling it, saying, okay, I get it now. Now, if you don't get it and you don't smile about it and you're upset and you're angry and you're fearful that you're going to go back into that relationship again in another one, then you don't learn that lesson until you overcome the experience, meaning that you become stronger, more aware of what you've been through. It's actually quite simple. But most of us don't see that in life. Too busy. Got to pay the mortgage. Got to think about that. Got to think about this. Got to think about that. Got to do this. Got to be. I'm too busy. I can't do that. And thus, you run, and you end up going nowhere. You go through all these experiences and never actually truly understand the experience, and you never grow from it. So it's the little things that make a difference. I tell you what I found. I only realized this because I was reading for people every day who were going through the most horrific experiences, and it kept reoccurring. So it was a pattern that I saw in so many people, and it's like, wow, because I'm in this experience with them and feeling it, I recognize my own. And a lot of the times I used to spiritually read and I used to think, oh shit, that message was for me. It's so relevant to me as well, as it was to the client, of course. But what I saw in my client, I could see in myself. Like, I do that. I get jealous about that. Oh, I feel that. Oh, I want that. Oh, I need that. And like, you don't need anything. You don't need to be jealous. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to, because all of those things are fear-based. So I don't have any fear of jealousy, of losing anything, because I don't own anything. And whoever I'm with isn't mine. Jealousy is a terrible energy that eats you up and causes great illness and sickness. Very bad, very bad. So, like, I always remember one of my greatest lines that Spirit always used to channel through me was when they were going through a bad relationship and I don't want to lose him. Well, you'll probably lose him then if you don't want to lose him. If you're fearful of losing him, you're going to lose him because he's thinking the opposite of probably what you're thinking, and the way you're shining your energy of fear, they're going to feel that fear and you're going to create the very fear that you don't want them to leave, and then they've left. And then I realize most relationships, the people who come to me actually cause their own breakups and their own issues. Amazing, really. No, I didn't. Okay, then. Keep going. The moment you say, yeah, I do. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see it. Well, do you see it now? Yeah, I see it now. So I enjoy every day with my partner. But I don't say, you're mine. Or I don't say, we should be together. And a lot of people, plan things and do things. I've learned that it's nice planning and wanting to be together forever and stuff, but you don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. Yes, but I made a commitment. So does millions of people every day. But that commitment changes from day to day. That's why I like hand fasting, in the sense of, I love you today, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Now imagine saying that if you're jealous. That's going to freak people out because they're fearful of tomorrow. You tell me you're going to love me forever. And how many people say that in vows and then split up or stay together miserable for the rest of their life? And I used to say to my clients sometimes, I know you don't feel the love for your partner anymore and you don't want to tell him, but imagine if he didn't love you anymore and you didn't know. Wouldn't you want him to say to you, look, we've had such a lovely time, but I don't know why, I just don't have that feeling for you anymore. Would you, or rather him not say anything and then go off behind your back and have sex with somebody else, or, end up one day saying, I'm sorry, I've left you on a sticky note, What would you prefer? So I used to say to a lot of my clients, it's always beautiful to go and sit down somewhere where you've never sat before with them, in a neutral place that you don't have any connection with, and you just open up and talk and explain, in the most truthful way. And I think truth is a beautiful thing, and it does set you free, because inside, when you don't speak your truth, it starts to fester like a cesspit, and it starts to turn to anger and lots of issues, including disease. So walking a tightrope, truth is so relevant to me. Mark, come here. Guess what so-and-so did? I'm not bothered. I'm busy, right? I'm busy creating and doing something. Oh, come on, this is juicy gossip. I'm not interested, honestly. Oh, all right, then I'll go and ask somebody else who is. Yeah, have a great day. Too busy. Oh, Mark, come and look at my Ferrari. I couldn't give two shits about your Ferrari. I'm not interested in Ferrari. I'd rather look at a mobile home, but I'm not even bothered about a mobile home now. I'm not bothered about anything. Isn't that funny how when you walk your path of understanding life, and that we've been all hoodwinked to believe that we have to buy something to feel better, or we have to save up for something that is going to be that what makes us happy. I remember going through this life path of it's, we've got us holidays booked, 2 weeks off, love, can't wait. Oh, the slave mind. It really is funny, because now I'm not even bothered about holidays. And like, I sometimes wonder to myself, I've gone so far the opposite way. It's like, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I bothered about going on holiday? I'm not bothered. I could go on holiday tomorrow. I'm not bothered about it. There's no joy really for holidays for me, because every day I realized every day is a joyful day. I've created my life as a joyful day. I've found that balance, and I've walked the tightrope, and things don't bother me anymore. I don't need things anymore. And I get joy out of the daily things that I do. I don't have time. I don't have space. I have no sense of needing a routine, and some people need a routine. And I've come to the point where I don't, not at all. I've done routine. I did it with my daughter for 18 years. I've done it, tried it. Now I have no routine. In fact, I don't know what day it is today. I don't know what day it is today, if it's Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know what day it is, really. And you might look at me and think, what's wrong with you? But actually, I'm free. I'm free from time. I'm free from dates. I'm free from the system that pulls you in to say, oh yeah, you got to work 24 hours a day. You got to work 7 days a week. You got to do this, and you got to go on holiday once. You get 3 weeks holiday. No, mate. Sorry, not doing it. So I've created my own world, and this might upset people. It might get people really peed off, and oh well, I can't afford to do that. Well, I remember selling up in England and ended up with €4,000, €5,000, and driving to Spain in a transit van with 2 schnauzers, a little daughter at 6 years old, and a wife back then when I was married. And it was like, I did it. I did it. I got rid of all my jobs, all my businesses, and ended up with 4,000 after paying off everybody, and came here and then started a new life. I did it. So you can't argue with that, because I did it, and I changed my life. Yeah, well, I'm not you. No, you're not me. And whatever you say and whatever you feel is who you are. I can't do that. Well, there you go. You've just actually created that. I couldn't do that because I've got a mum and I have to look after her. Well, there you go. You've just created it. So what I found when reading for many people is that they hijacked their own life. They stopped their own path without knowing. Through the program. It's not their fault. So it wasn't my fault back then. I didn't know. I didn't see. Because ultimately it comes back to the awareness. Okay, now I recognize it. Oh shit. Okay, now I need to work on that. And everybody wants it now because of the program. Now. What's for tea? Now. What's spirituality? I want it now. I want to connect to spirit now. I want the car now. I want the holiday now. I want everything now. I want to be healed now. I want this illness to go now. That's the program. That's how it's being given to you. That's how you create an enslaved society. So this might upset you. The only way to find real balance is to break free from the system that has been put in place. And I hate to say it. It's a system that brings nothing but illness and sickness in the end. And very, very few people experience the most powerful energy in the world when they're in that system. And that's peace. Peace can come to us in many different ways. And it can stay with us for a short moment and disappear, but sometimes it can stay with us for quite a long time. Healing is one way, especially energy healing. If you get a real true healer, you can clear an awful lot from your body, and you can feel a sense of inner peace that you haven't felt for months, years, decades. I noticed that, and that was a very normal practice after a 1 hour and a half session. With me, they'd get up and they'd say it. I feel like they just didn't know where they were. It was like crazy, and it was lovely, crazy and lovely and beautiful. And they'd always say that. I feel a sense of peace that they'd never felt before. But that was a good thing, because now you know you can feel it. Now you know you can create it. Now you know it can actually be part of your life. What are you going to do to either hold on to it or work towards that? And of course, most people revert back to the system, cage, prison, enslavement, 24/7 program, black screen. But I did notice many things when I was a practitioner, a healer, and working on clients that made me understand that balance is something that is an everyday balancing trick. It's walking that path of balance. It's like tightrope every day. So every day I have to walk the path. Every day I have to feel. Every day I experience. But one thing I noticed is the more I worked on myself to recognize certain things, patterns, certain knee-jerk reactions, certain feelings, thoughts, certain emotions, sit down and just, think about that. Stand back from your emotion. Stand back from the body and say, that's not me. This is somebody teaching me. This is somebody about to say, this is what I think's wrong with you. Works really well. It's brilliant, in fact. Just pretend you're not you when you've gone through that. I did it the other day. I reacted to something. I stopped, stood back from myself, looked at the situation, answered it instantly. And thus lies this beautiful metaphor that I always use. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Thank you, the Buddha. Brilliant. Love it. And it's that last sentence, suffering is optional. And you find that the more you walk the path of health, well-being, balance, seeing your reactions, looking at yourself, standing back from yourself and being the teacher as well as the pupil, you see that, my reactions are a lot less. My emotions to sadness, depression, whatever you want to label yourself with, it's just an energy, has gone. Why is that? Why is it gone? Why did you feel bad now and you don't feel so bad 5 minutes after, whereas a year ago, that same situation you would have hung on to for a year, 10 years. Why is it? Why? Because you've learnt to recognize it and then you let it go. Recognizing something within us is a form of healing. It's incredible how you can heal yourself from recognizing something about yourself, but laughing about it at the same time. Shit, do I do that? Why do I always go back to my dad and try and do something and then he gets angry and like, why do I keep abusing myself? Laughing about it. Why? Because my dad will never change and it looks like I'm not going to change. I keep doing it. But like, come here. What are you going to learn? Okay, I laughed. You know what? You're just banging your head again. Oh, I'm gonna meet this lovely lady and I'm gonna change her. Or I'm gonna meet this lovely man and I'm gonna love him so he becomes beautiful. I don't care whether it's a psychopath. I'll change him. Or I'll change her. Yeah. No, you're not here to change anybody. You're here to change yourself. And that psychopath or that person or that beautiful person that made you, they're there to help you, to show you who you truly are and how you can grow. That's how I see it anyway. I do believe in love, of course I do. I do believe in relationships. I do believe in all these things, but I don't believe in your mind. And that's it. I believe that I've come to understand that being on the flow, in the flow, being open, feeling the acceptance of everything without anger or without fear. I don't think there's anything more healing in your life. I don't think there's no tablet in this world, there's no massage or energy healing or any religion that can clear your body of illness and emotional trauma and all the things that stop us than that. I accept it's all as it is. And most of us, because we fear, and we all fear. I fear losing this, I fear losing her, him, I fear losing my job, I fear the world, I fear the future. Everybody fears, and because we don't know what's going to happen. We fear it. And yet, if we embrace the future that we don't see and say it's all as it should be, where I am right now is exactly where I'm meant to be. But more importantly, where I'm going to be taken to is exactly where I'm going. Great example. I was in Bali and I said to my wife then when I was married to Susie, let's go on a bike ride. Where are we going? I said, I don't know. Yeah, but you must know where we're going. No idea where we're going. Let's just go. Let's let Bali take us. And for half an hour, she struggled. What are we doing? Where we're going? It might start raining. It's like, it's okay, Susie. Chill. It's all right. Let's go. And sure enough, there's a big sign in front of us, and it was a temple. And we got off the bike, and I said, you see where she brings us? You see, Bali just brings us where we need to be. This is the flow. So we got off, and we went, and we had this beautiful blessing with the holy water. It was gorgeous. It was just a beautiful blessing. I don't care about religion. I just think it was a beautiful people who were there, and there was beautiful water, which was pure, beautiful story. I couldn't care less whether it was Catholic, which it wasn't. I couldn't care less whether it was Muslim or Jewish, which it wasn't. I would have still embraced all of them. It just happened to be Hindu that day. And it was lovely. We embraced it and we got on the bike and it did start raining and we had to shelter underneath this place for about half an hour. And she got soaked, but I actually loved it. But you see how people are different to circumstances and situations. Some people need to know where they're going. That's a prison to me. That's like being at school. That's like being told, okay, dears, today at 2 o'clock you're going to do this. At 3 o'clock you're doing that. 4 o'clock's like, oh God, imprison me now, kill me now. Give me some form of excitement, please. And I remember being on my own in Bali. I'd split up from Susie. We had to go our separate ways. We had our own path to, and she had to grow, and so did I in our own ways. And I remember being in Bali, and I'd just finished a retreat with Bettina, beautiful Bettina, and Ajahn, beautiful Ajahn. And we'd finished that retreat, and I got on a motorbike, and I said, take me to where you want me to go. I got on my motorbike, and I drove, and I'm like, at one point I'm like, where am I going? This looks like a dead end. And I got to the end and there's a little tiny kind of temple. And there was a guy in white. And normally when the guy's in white with white, this is a healer. So I got off my motorbike and it was the most amazing exchange that I'd had. And yeah, he just spoke to me in certain words that resonated so profound, started crying. And like I went, okay, thank you. It was a bit heavy, but it was beautiful and it was needed and it was necessary. At the time, sometimes things can be a little bit heavy at the moment, but afterwards we look back and we realize, wow, that was needed. And it was a form of healing and it was a form of spirit leading me to the right place. My family in the spirit world, my guides, angels, whatever you want to call them, they guided me because I didn't say. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If everything in your day is so rigid, where is the room for the magic? Where's that room for those moments where you just synchronicity just leads you to a certain place? There are moments where you can't explain it. So everything which is rigid, i.e., okay, I've got to go to work at 9 o'clock, got to do this, got to be that, got to do that. It's like watching a kettle boil. You never actually see anything. Too busy with that. I've got to be here, got to be here, got to be here. And they used to call me the Scarlet Pimpernel for many years when I was in England, Huddersfield. Nobody could really have a conversation with me because I was too busy ahead of myself, thinking, okay, I shouldn't be here, I need to be there now. And so many of us live our life by that. And that isn't our fault, that's the program. So if you learn to step away from the program, some people call it the matrix, okay? I don't really like to call it that because that's just like a movie. But if we step out of that and breathe in our own power, no, I'm walking this way. No, you've got to go. No, I don't. I'm going this way now. Yeah, but this is the way. I don't care. I'm going this way. Yeah, but no, I'm not interested in your books. I'm not interested in what you're telling me to do. I'm going this way. Yeah, but why? No idea. But I'm going that way. I just feel like I want to go that way. I just feel like I want to just flow. There is no reason. There's no rhyme, there's no understanding. It's just a knowing that all is as it should be. And in those moments, there is no right and wrong. It just is. And if you can embrace that every day, even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, keep embracing that. It's like going to the gym and learning to pump weights. You want to be big and beautiful, then you're going to have to work at it. And that's the same as living in the moment and being in that flow. The more you practice it, the more the magic comes. The more that you will hear spirit, the more that spirit will give you the answers. And before you know it, you're in that frequency and you're out of the program. You're out of the prison. So maybe today is a great day to say, unprison yourself for at least 10 minutes a day. Do something unexpected. Follow that magic, because magic is normally in the instant, in the moment. And it's normally so unexpected and so beautiful that to this day I trust my path. I trust what I do. I don't do anything wrong. I don't make mistakes. I didn't forget anything. I didn't do anything that I should have done, because everything is as it should be. And that, my friends, is true freedom and the break free of slavery, both mind, body and spirit. I hope you enjoyed this conversation today. It was just from my heart to yours. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. And hey, let's have a few more chats like this in the near future. I enjoy it, and I like to just give you food for thought. Take care.